What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, Sienna Fernandez. If you're new here and you don't know who I am, I'm a junior at Miles High School and I am in Jordan O'Connell's History 1302 class. So today's content is going to be a little bit different than usual, so before I give anything away, let's just get right into it. I will be discussing Orenthal James Simpson, better known as O.J. Simpson, and reconsidering his legacy here in the 21st century. While I'll assume role of historian, my efforts will be to promote academic knowledge in an era in which historical understanding is not just dismissed, but is often criticized or outright rejected. I will do this while making slime and showing clips from his life using a presentation. The book I chose was I Want to Tell You, my response to your letters, your messages, and your questions by O.J. Simpson. This novel contained a selection of letters, as there were over 300,000 letters written to O.J. while he was incarcerated, along with his reactions at this critical time. Here's a quote from O.J. himself. "Fame is a vapor, popularity an accident, and money takes wings, and those who cheer today will curse tomorrow. The only thing that endures is character." I believe that this source, especially the words being from O.J. himself, allowed me to understand his life and the actions that led up to the events of his case. I used what I already knew and performed lots of research about his life before he was accused of murder. Simpson's high-profile 1990s murder trial is why he remains controversial. O.J. was born July 9th, 1947 in San Francisco, California, and he grew up with his family in a house in the projects of Potrero Hill. Whenever Simpson turned 5, he developed rickets and had to wear braces on his legs, which caused him to have a bow-legged stance. In 1952, his parents separated, and then he was raised solely by his mother. At 13 years old, he joined a gang, the Persian Warriors, in which he got into a fight and sent to the San Francisco Youth Guidance Center for nearly a week. Despite getting poor grades, Simpson showed promise on the field at Galileo High School, and he was later admitted to the University of Southern California as a halfback. There is speculation of why O.J. was so troubled. He states, "After I got too old for my dad to give me whippings, and after I started playing football at USC, he came to a few games. We still had our non-communicative periods. I was still upset that he had left my mother." After graduating from USC, he then joined the Buffalo Bills in 1969. He was nicknamed the Juice, and he had a successful career as he led the National Football League into the rushing category for 4 consecutive years. And he even set the record as the first NFL player to rush more than 2,000 yards in a single game. He had 23 touchdowns in 1975. And 273 rushing yards against the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving Day. Simpson retired from professional football in 1979, and he pursued a successful career as a sportscaster and actor, starring in The Klansman, a 1974 film. He later appeared in The Naked Gun in 1988 and its sequels. Even more, he did commercials and worked as a commentator for the Monday Night Football in the NFL on NBC. Simpson was married 2 times and had 5 kids total. He married Margaret L. Whitney on June 24th, 1968. They had 3 children together, Arnell, Jason, and Aaron. Unfortunately, Aaron passed away drowning in their family pool. Simpson and Margaret divorced in 1979. Simpson met Nicole Brown, who was still a teenager when they married in 1985. They had 2 children together, Justin and Sydney. He was also elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame at this time. Yes, their marriage had their flaws, and Nicole complained about her marriage, saying Simpson was physically abusive. In 1989, during a New Year party, he allegedly threatened to kill her, and he pleaded no contest to spousal battery. He publicly brushed it off, and then the 2 divorced in 1992. June 12, 1994, Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ronald Goldman were found stabbed to death outside her home in Los Angeles, California. Evidence pointed to Simpson as the murderer. He was ordered to surrender at 11 a.m. on June 17th, but he never appeared. He was later tracked down by a cell phone call from the Santa Ana freeway. He pursued a slow speed chase on his white Ford Bronco that belonged to ex-NFL player who was driving with Simpson in the backseat. Simpson mentioned this. He says, "If it hadn't been for the ride to my home in my friend A.C. Alan Cowling's Bronco that June Friday, I think many people would not have witnessed the desperate place I was in." He did a lot of soul searching and thinking during his time in the LA jail. Eventually, on June 17th, Simpson surrendered at his Brentwood mansion. He claimed he wasn't running, but the fact that he had a gun, his passport, $9,000 in cash, and a disguise did not help his case. He pleaded absolutely 100% not guilty. This criminal trial was dubbed the trial of the century. It lasted from January 24th, 1995 to October 3rd, 1995. Simpson had the dream team of lawyers that costed $50,000. These lawyers were able to raise a doubt about the handling of evidence. However, lead prosecutor Maria Clark had a strong case against Simpson. A glove near the bodies was DNA tested and connected Simpson to the scene. Contrain dismissed this by saying, "If it doesn't fit, you must acquit." On October 3rd, 1995, Simpson was found not guilty. This event was one of the most watched in history, with 150 million people listening in for the verdict. In February 1997, he was called back to court and found liable for the deaths of Brown and Goldman. He had to pay their families $33.5 million in damages. He moved to Florida in 1999. He made headlines again in December 2000s as he allegedly attacked another driver in road rage. In October 2008, Simpson was convicted of 12 accounts of armed robbery and a kidnapping with Clarence C.J. Stewart. They were both found guilty robbing at gunpoint in a Las Vegas hotel room in 2007. He was taken into custody immediately after, and he said he was just trying to reclaim his possessions. In December 2008, Simpson and Stewart were sentenced 33 years in prison, with possible parole after 9. The O.J. Simpson trial had several shortcomings, including the concerns about the handling of evidence, the polarization of public opinion, and questions about the fairness of the legal process. The case highlighted issues of racial bias and celebrity influence in the criminal justice system. The shortcomings that made him supremely human are highlighted throughout the trial, and he was very vulnerable in the writing of his book. He states, "My ex-wife is dead. Nicole is buried. Once she's buried, there's no more story. But if I can appear to be guilty, it's a great story, and it starts to make money for everybody." There's something about voicing your innocence in such a way, and that's not something somebody sane could do. Or maybe he could, and he's just a really good liar. If you ask nearly anyone, they are going to remember where they were or what they were doing when the Bronco chase occurred. In the 21st century, his passing due to cancer is a very recent occurrence. Many reactions to his death include jokes and some rejoicing in the fact that he's dead. But it's still important to have empathy and recall his achievements in early life, such as winning the Heisman Trophy for the USC and playing for the Buffalo Bills. Even with all of these great things, he's still remembered as the man who was found guilty for killing his ex-wife. But he was so much more than that. He was a husband, a father, a brother, a professional football player, an actor, and at the end of the day, guilty or not, he was a person. Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching this YouTube video. If you want to see content like this again, make sure you hit that subscribe button and comment down below who you would like to see next. I hope this video was very entertaining as you saw my very poor slime making skills. And yeah, that's it. So bye guys.